Last year, we saw Micah Parsons and Jamarr Chase take the league by storm and quickly cement themselves as some of the best players in the league. But who will do it this year? Here are a few rookies that could dominate this season. Neal, Giants, offensive tackle. If you know anything about the NFL, the Giants have had one of the worst offensive lines the past few years. So when they selected the blindside blocker from Alabama in the top 10, we just know Daniel Jones was somewhere jumping for joy. The Giants could never find the right guys up front to shore up their line, but this time may be different. Neal will instantly slide into the right tackle position and should stay there for the next decade. He's a former SEC player with phenomenal size and strength to take care of anybody coming off the edge quickly. Neal possesses all the tools you could possibly want and looks league ready. He's the perfect guy to protect Daniel Jones, who is entering a make or break season with the organization. If Neal can help keep Jones standing in the pocket more often, we might see a new Giants offense this season. Oh, and we can't forget about the edges he might be able to set for an explosive guy like Saquon Barkley. Breece Hall, Jets, running back. Hall was the first running back taken in the 2022 NFL Draft, and it's easy to see why. After producing back-to-back 1,000-yard, 20-touchdown seasons at Iowa State, the former Cyclone has a rare skill set and will be given every opportunity to become the featured back in New York. To assist him, the Jets have a young offensive line on the rise, even if Mekhi Becton never plays another down. Breece has the potential to be a generational runner. With his unique elusiveness for a bigger back weighing 220 pounds, he also possesses a 4.39 40-yard dash, which is Jonathan Taylor-esque. Currently, he's easily the frontrunner for the 2022 Offensive Rookie of the Year. Treylon Burks, Titans, wide receiver. The Tennessee Titans made the most questionable decision on draft night, choosing to ship A.J. Brown off to the Eagles and drafting Burks to replace him. Because of this, there is immense pressure on Burks to fill the Pro Bowl shoes Brown leaves behind, but it shouldn't be too much for him to handle. After all, Burks was a guy that drew heavy comparisons to Brown early in the draft process. Brown forced 17 missed tackles on 85 receptions in his final college season. Burks was right there with him and forced 15 on 66 receptions. So, the comparison is accurate, and the Titans trading for Robert Woods will help the young rookie develop into the missing piece for a run-dominant offense. If he's even remotely as good as Brown was last year, the Titans may have just made the year's best move. Jordan Davis, Eagles, defensive tackle. The biggest and baddest man in the draft went from Georgia to Philadelphia. Davis is a ridiculously massive defensive lineman that can flat out fly around the field. The Eagles drafted Davis to take over for Fletcher Cox as the centerpiece of their defensive line, and he looks like he may even challenge Fletcher for the spotlight this season. He's listed at 6'6" and weighs nearly 340 pounds, but being big isn't what makes him so unique. His 4.78 40-yard dash was the fastest for a man over 300 pounds. It was so impressive that he was listed as the most athletic and physically gifted player in the NFL Combine's history when coupled with the rest of his numbers. When you have a nose tackle who chooses to participate in all these agility drills and excels at them, you know you have someone special on your roster. Davis will likely slot in instantly on the line next to Fletcher Cox, an established veteran who has been causing havoc for years. The two will make it nearly impossible for opposing teams to run the ball or sit back in the pocket for extended periods. Watch out for this Eagles D-line duo. Trent McDuffie, Chiefs, cornerback. Up next is the Kansas City Chiefs first-round selection, Trent McDuffie. Most fans have only been paying attention to the significant loss of Tyreek Hill during the offseason. Don't get me wrong, that's a colossal loss, no matter how you look at it. However, the selection of McDuffie could show a shift in focus from offense to defense. We all know the talent that Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce will bring you on offense. They won't struggle to score points throughout the season. On the defensive end, though, we saw a consistent hole at the cornerback position. They were getting beat in the passing game far too often for their liking, and if it weren't for such an explosive offense, they would have lost many more games over the past few years. McDuffie is a physical cornerback that already looks polished coming into the league. He can likely start straight away, considering the inexperience the Chiefs already have at defensive back. Throw all of these things together, and McDuffie can instantly prove himself to be a top cornerback in the NFL. Plus, there isn't going to be a better experience going up against Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, and Derek Carr a combined 6 times. Chris Olave, Saints wide receiver. Now we go back to the offensive side of the ball with the young New Orleans Saints wideout. It was clear after last season that the Saints needed a change in their receiver room. Michael Thomas had been absent absent for nearly 2 seasons, and no one stepped up to replace him. Olave will be that guy. He was drafted in the first round to bolster a passing offense that ranked dead last in passing yards per game. Olave has the speed and route running ability to take the top off a defense on any given play, and that is something that the Saints have been lacking for quite some time. He also looks to be the perfect counterpart to Thomas, who is more of a physical and sure-handed receiver than a burner like Olave. Couple his speed with Jameis Winston's deep ball accuracy, and suddenly this Saints offense just became a game changer in the NFC. New Orleans might be a little underrated at this point in the offseason. Aidan Hutchinson, Lions, edge rusher. This isn't a surprise, but Aidan Hutchinson is the next rookie that we think can break out this year. Hutchinson was selected with the 2nd overall pick for a reason. He could potentially alter the way we view the Lions' defensive line. Detroit only won 3 games last year, but did look like they changed the culture around the organization because they fought in every game till the final whistle. Head coach Dan Campbell looks like he's rebuilding this team from the ground up, and Hutchinson will be the leader of the defense. He will be a monster on the edge and should be terrorizing opposing quarterbacks in the NFC for years to come. Detroit doesn't have anyone on the D-line to stop him from seeing all the playing time he needs to develop. All signs are pointing towards the 2nd overall draft pick having a phenomenal season with the opportunity he's given. Don't be surprised if he's the 2022 Defensive Rookie of the Year. Dameon Pierce, Texans, running back. Entering the draft as one of the biggest sleepers, Pierce arguably landed in the best situation possible. The Texans' offensive line isn't great, but Pierce finds himself in an excellent opportunity to be the number 1 back immediately. Marlon Mack and Rex Burkhead are the veterans ahead of him, and neither of their resumes is all that impressive. So if the Texans are looking for a long-term solution in the backfield, Pierce will be the guy. The 5'10", 218-pound back with lightning-quick feet very much resembles Mark Ingram coming out of college. And while he isn't a Heisman Trophy winner, he is a back that forced a missed tackle on 40% of his carries for the Gators last season. This puts him with Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker from his draft class. Another thing that could benefit Pierce is the lack of heavy workload in Florida. Head coach Dan Mullen refused to make him a bell cow as he never eclipsed 106 carries in a season. Sauce Gardner, Jets cornerback. Next up is none other than Sauce. The New York Jets took the leap on Gardner early in the first round, and boy, does this already look like a great decision. The cornerback position is very tough to play with how pass-happy the league is right now. However, Gardner has all the tools you could want and didn't give up a single touchdown in college at the University of Cincinnati. Like McDuffie, there isn't anybody really standing in his way of instantly starting and securing many opportunities to make plays. The Jets aren't known to be a force on defense, so he will have room to grow and become the unit's leader. Sauce is tall but fluid for a defensive back of his height and plays excellent press coverage by using his long arms at the line of scrimmage to knock receivers off their routes early on. We've also already seen him show off the confidence that number 1 corners usually possess during some interviews leading up to the draft. It's safe to say that quarterbacks won't be throwing his way very much this season. George Pickens, Steelers, wide receiver. The wideout for the Pittsburgh Steelers became a viral sensation after being selected in the 2nd round. Pickens will have some catching up to do after only playing in 4 games throughout the 2021 season, though when he gets back on track, he will be electric. GP is the type of receiver that plays extremely physical and has a profound opportunity to take over some snaps in the offense now that Juju Smith-Schuster is gone. We've already seen a handful of clips from Pickens during training camp, and he's constantly making extra effort on plays, a trait you want out of a receiver. They don't frequently get this from Chase Claypool, who is currently injured and may have his spot taken if he's not careful. One thing working against him is that Pittsburgh has an exciting competition at the quarterback position with Mitchell Trubisky and fellow rookie Kenny Pickett. Pickett isn't a top option to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year award right now, but he's undoubtedly somebody I would keep a close eye on as the year goes on and he garners more opportunities.